Hello everybody and welcome back to part 2 of my Medieval 2 Total War Stainless Steel the Aragon campaign. Last time we left off we captured the castle at Valencia and lost more units than we, let's be honest, we really should have. Yeah. But no matter, I'm going to try and learn from my mistakes as best I can. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to start off this turn by moving my spy, since we've now captured Valencia, into Moorish lands and see what we can see. See, the Moors are pretty undefended down here. No real threat there. Of course, we're not at war yet, but I have a feeling that we will be very shortly. We do have pretty terrible relations with them. So up here we've got our diplomat. We secured trade and map information last turn from Leon. Now we're going to go talk with Portugal. Now I could go and talk with this
Some say I am a jewel of the Mediterranean.
Portuguese princess.
Do you?
However, because
Greetings, noble lord.
she also has influence or charm, it's called, but it's essentially the same thing. We won't get as good a deal, I think, talking to her as we would if we just went and talked to
naturally, my lord.
Their castle. So that's what I'm going to do, and I know it's down here.
Is there something I
So
can
we'll
do
get some
for
trade
you,
rights
noble
and
lord?
some map information.
I am afraid I must deny you.
And I believe this is because they only have one settlement, so map information isn't worth anything. So what we will do is we will offer our map information for 600 florins, I think. Should be.
I guess we can agree to this.
Yes.
It would seem you are very reasonable. Farewell.
And what I'm going to do is going to come down here and talk with
On
the
my
Moors.
way. Today's journey
Portuguese army
ends.
there, as you can see. So yeah, so we secured another trade agreement and some friendly negotiations. What I'm going to do in Valencia here is I'm going to construct a garrison quarter. Basically that gives us access to more infantry, including spear militia, which we will need in order to retrain parts of our army. So yeah. So I think that might be it for this turn. Everything's building. I don't know, can we recruit any more this turn? No, we can get a priest though. Get that priest out.
My lord.
Let's just take a look at the... Yeah, we're a lot more Catholic now. Yeah, we're alright for the moment. Okay, so we'll end the turn and see where the next turn brings us. So, my next target is to capture the town of Pamplona. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Might not be. So yes. Moorish army moving away there. And we have a new mission to send an emissary to the Moorish Caliphate, which is exactly what we're on our way to do anyway.
Someone to see?
So, yes.
Naturally, my lord.
And we can talk
There is
to
something you wish to
this
speak
town in
of?
here in Silves. Try and secure some trade, some map information. However, their map information will be worth a lot more because they have a much bigger empire than we do. So what I will do is I will offer them a slight bit of money and hopefully make that
There
sweeten
is
the
no
deal.
way the Sultan would accept this.
Okay, I want a little bit more then, because they're greedy. I'll go as far as 400.
We must decline this you speak of, Sadiq.
I want something. I'm not... 500 is the highest I will go.
The answer, I'm afraid, is no.
Well, you know what then?
A shame, but your course of discussions come to a close.
Right, okay. In that case, we'll go talk to another settlement and see if we can get a better deal.
As you wish.
I won't be...
Investigating. Today's
I won't
journey
be
is
ripped off
over.
like that. I'm a Yorkshireman, if you can't already tell. We don't give away money easily. Yeah. We all have padlocks on our wallets. It's a fact. Anyway, so yeah. What are we going to build here? We've built our port. I think, just to aid in a bit of recruitment, I'm going to build a town guard here. Yeah, so it can just aid in recruitment a little bit. Our priest is now ready, which
God's
I think we'll
servant.
send down to Valencia. Actually, Valencia's not too bad. Maybe we'll send them down here then.
Very good, my lord. Continuing to my lord.
We're pretty Catholic up here now, so yeah. So we've got some troops ready now, though. Might take a bit longer to start to recruit these guys. I might merge a few of our troops if I can.
Your Majesty.
Yeah, that's as far as I'm gonna have to go.
Orders. Your Majesty.
Yeah.
Orders. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of troops that we lost in that battle, and there's a lot left to retrain, so...
Where to,
So as you can see, the Moors have quite a few settlements down here. Got Cordoba as well, which I believe is their capital. Indeed it is. So, yes. Anyway, we've already talked with our diplomat, yes, so we'll unturn. Yeah, for those of you who have indeed played Medieval 2 Total War before, but not this mod, I do highly recommend it, as it does make... It just adds an awful lot to the original game. Again, as I say, it adds a lot more settlements, but it just deepens the lore. Like, there's more factions, there's... You know, the map expands to the east a lot more, which means, you know, if you want to play as... I don't know, if you want to role play as the Turks, for instance, who usually, or you know, back in the day, their capital was formed around Baghdad. Now, in original vanilla Total War, Medieval 2 Total War, Baghdad is right on the edge of the map. It's somewhere here, and the edge of the map runs down there. So it makes much more sense in this game that it could be a capital, because there's so much territory to the east and even to the south as well. You know, down here to Qatar and modern day United Arab Emirates. You know, not that such nations existed back then, but there are settlements down there. So yeah, it just adds an awful lot to the game, which I do very much appreciate. You do lose the America in that. You can't colonize America in this, but I always found that colonising America happened so late game that there was almost no point. So, right, I'm going to try my luck with my diplomat.
Yes, Lord.
We are
Trying to
prepared
talk
to
to a
receive your
captain
message, Sadiq.
rather than a settlement. We might get a little bit further if we do that. In fact, I'm going to be really bold and ask for 200.
We must decline this.
Ah,
you
but
speak
they
of,
are only
Sadiq.
asking for 390 now. That's interesting. They might accept 300 now. Is it crashed?
There is no honor in forcing the Sultan's hand like this, infidels. And
Ah,
farewell.
we have managed to get away with it. That is, yeah, that is the stingiest of stingy deals, I think. I think you'll find, but
Naturally, my
yeah.
lord.
Anyway, you have to get as much as you can. Look at that! Just by going and talking to a captain, we managed to save a good. I don't know, how much did we save by doing that? 400 florins, as they're called, yeah. So it's worth it. That 400 florins, it could buy me another 2 units. You know, it's good. Right, everything's building. Can we recruit anything? We can build some peasant infantry here. Not the most useful unit ever, but you know, it's something. We can build a cog, but it's a little bit expensive, and its upkeep's a little bit expensive, so I'm not going to build it yet. Reason being is there's a town over here on the island of Parma that we could do with taking at some point as well. I'd rather take Pamplona. That's my biggest priority at the moment, up here, because it's a castle, but the next target will then be that. But on the other hand, I believe that Parma is not anywhere near as heavily defended as Pamplona, so maybe, whilst we recruit more units, maybe we should think about that. You know what? I think I will. That might be an interesting one, because I'm determined to learn from my mistakes at Valencia, and I'm only going to send in. I'm going to send in everything I need. I'm not going to send in just enough to take it. I'm going to send in more than we need so that we can minimise our losses. Yeah. So, we found another settlement down here, another castle, Seville. I think it's unlikely that we're going to reach that. It's a little bit out of our way anyway. And I think Leon and the Moors will be fighting over it anyway. And that's actually the Caliph, the Moorish faction leader here, 68. Yes. Well, wonder if he'll make it. Yeah, characters have a tendency to die around that age in this game, which again, compared to vanilla Medieval 2, is quite a lot longer. Anyway, our priest, let's move him, but he's making his way down. So yeah. But yeah, it does make me wonder if I should have maybe played as England in this game, because I was thinking before I started this part, you know, the quotes about, like, for instance, Edward III. My knowledge of English history is quite a bit more so than Spanish history. Yeah. So it could have been an interesting, from, you know, more of a role-playing perspective of, like, talking you through the battles and wars that happened. But anyway, so the Moorish Caliph, who we just saw last turn, is now dead. So yeah, and they want us to build a chapel in Valencia. Well, Pope, you might just have to wait for that.
Where to, sire?
So as you can see by the borders here, this settlement here is now owned by the Portuguese. So yeah, it's no longer rebel. You can always tell the difference between the borders by right-clicking. You can see that this area here is white and blue, which are the Portuguese colours, and this is grey and white, which are the rebel colours. And obviously orange and white are the Moorish colours, and then you've got yellow and blue for Aragon, and you've got yellow and red for Spain. So you can always tell the difference that way. Except when you go to Sicily, because Sicily also has the same colour.
Yes,
which is kind of annoying. It has to be said.
with God.
Because,
Very good.
yeah, you can't see. You have to actually get it within range in order to see, for sure. Anyway, Barcelona has finished recruitment. It's building even. So we'll build the grain exchange now. And Valencia has also finished its production. I did want to go for a bowyer, which I think I will do. We've got 5 turns to build a chapel, so what I'll do is I'll build the bowyer. I'll queue up the chapel behind it, so that it'll be done. Yeah. The reason I want to build a bowyer is because we need to retrain our archers a little bit. But speaking of retraining, we could do with retraining a few of these units as well. So we should do that. Yes. Also, this end of term report, I don't know if anybody finds this particularly interesting, but it can be useful. The balance of power down here, you can see how well your faction is doing against others. So, our military is currently the 25th most powerful in the world, which is pretty much dead last. It's 9% the size of the Byzantine Empire's army, military, which is terrifying. And our finances, which are actually doing pretty well at the moment, are only a quarter that of the Holy Roman Empire. So it's a lot to catch up on, which I'm sure we will do once the campaign gets going. But yeah, for now we are miles behind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send some spear militia down to the boat. Recruited, and
Your Majesty. Your orders?
move this navy slightly
Full
so
sail.
that these guys can get aboard.
My lord.
I'll leave him in
Yes, my
there.
lord.
Wait till next turn, maybe a couple of turns, when we can recruit another unit of boats, because if there's any rebels around here, the last thing I want is for them to come and sink my ships with my army on board, because we will lose the army. So not so great. Anyway, yeah. And we're going to retrain a few of these units. Once we have, we might look to take Parma. So yeah. Just keep checking the levels of Catholicism in these regions. Pretty high. I might actually start bringing my priest down
Traveling
to
with God.
convert
I can go no further
to
today.
Catholicism.
Continuing tomorrow, my
It'll
lord.
cause unrest in their territories, and it will potentially make them rebel, which would be a fantastic way, actually, to conquer without actually going to war with the Moors. It'll annoy them, but there's
Yes,
not a
my
lot.
lord.
I don't think there's a lot they can do about it at that point, unless they were to actually declare war.
On my way.
Oh, and I keep getting blocked. I should say my
Naturally, my
diplomat keeps
lord.
getting blocked. I'm sending him up there
Today's
so he can reach
journey
France.
ends.
Sire,
And yeah, I'm going to send my spy back
as
this
you
way
wish.
to keep an eye on the Moors.
Without a trace.
A few troops around
Today's
Cordoba,
journey is over.
which is a little bit scary. Not so many in Granada or Murcia. But yeah. Okay, we're building. I don't think we can recruit. No, not yet. Okay, so we'll turn again. I tend to find that we go through the turns a lot quicker in this campaign than in the Shogun 2, but yeah, Shogun 2, the early game, there seems to be a little bit more to do. You're plunged straight into the thick of the action. Whereas in Medieval 2, there's a little bit of a slower build up to it, which I kind of like. But yeah, at the same time, there's an argument to be had that, you know, I don't know. I wonder which you guys prefer. Yeah,
God's
if
sake.
we get
Very
a couple of
good, my
episodes
lord.
in, see
Yes, lord.
which series you prefer. Because I do plan on coming back to Shogun 2 at some point. So yeah, I've just got my my general married here, which is good. If we take a look at the family tree, we can now see that everybody's married. That freaked me out for a moment. I've just realised it's a glitch on the thing, the Turkish flag. I'm like, what? Did one of my generals... What? But yeah, no. So everybody's married, and indeed our king has had a son, which is good. It just means that if one of them dies at any point,
Yes, my lord.
we can we can continue the line on after them. So that's all good. So we can retrain our units now again, and that should be all our spear militia up to full strength again, just in time for us to go over and take Parma. So as you can see, these numbers are, apart from production, are all green, which means we are improving, which is nice. Our population's actually quite high, to be honest. I think it's because Zaragoza is actually quite a populated city. Valencia is not exactly small. Barcelona is a little bit small, but I'm surprised we're 13th. I would have thought that a lot more factions had more. Because even the smaller factions around Italy, like Genoa and Venice, their cities are huge compared to ours, so... Yeah, I find that very hard to believe, actually, because their cities already have like 10,000 people living in them. We don't even have... We have about 11,000 in all three settlements. Anyway, maybe it must be true. So yeah, again, not a lot else to do, unless we can recruit a few more. No, we're recruiting. Our bishops have arrived. We can move our spy a bit further. Move him back.
As you wish. I'm
My
done
diplomat,
for
because no
today
doubt he'll
and
get
honor.
blocked if I don't.
On my way. Today's journey ends.
Burgos is still belonging to rebels, which is interesting. But again, I want to make sure I can get to Pamplona before anybody else does. If I don't get Burgos straight away, I don't mind. But I'll be annoyed if I can't secure Pamplona. Just secures my borders a bit more to the north, which means I can pretty much go to war with the Moors whenever I choose to, without much worry, because that is my plan for this campaign. We need to go to war with the Moors and take most of their settlements, if not all of their settlements. And then my plan, I think, is to move eastwards towards Sicily and Italy, and conquer lands there, which Spain historically actually did. It took them, I think, a few hundred years more, but yeah, they actually did take southern Italy eventually, which they held for, I think, quite a long time. I think until Napoleon's age, about 1800s. So possibly even until the unification of Italy, which was actually only about 150 years ago, which is scarily recently, considering we're comparing it to today, compared to where we're playing this game, which the year is 1107. So, yeah, anyway. Zaragoza has built its thing. It can now recruit a few more spear militia. And I think, what do we want to build? I think we want to build some farms, just to get the growth going a bit more. Can we build him? Not quite, but it doesn't matter. So we've got a bit of a stronger fleet, slightly now. So we're going to move our fleets down. We're going to pick up some troops. Actually, we don't need all this spear militia. You know what, I'm going to send this spear militia into Valencia. They can then get retrained. That makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? So we've got, I believe, 6 units there. So we'll take our general, take our... We kind of want to leave our archers, so we'll take the... Yeah, we'll leave that, I think. It's a bit of a garrison. Is that enough? It should be enough, but... As I said before... You know what? No, we'll bring those guys in as well. And move our boats to Parma. I should be able to attack that next turn. It's only a small town, not a big garrison. Nothing much to worry about. These boats have massive range, like blooming heck. Those boats have managed to go there, to Valencia, to Parma, back to Zaragoza's port in that one turn. That's kind of incredible. Right, bring our spy down here. I want to take a peek if I can. We'll see if we can level up our spy. Got these little cutscenes here that, yeah, that's what your spy does. Aha! And it seems like he has successfully infiltrated the Imam's bodyguard. Indeed, yes. I'm going to show it again, but we don't need to see it. And that's increased his subterfuge and his sight range, which is nice. So he's now a level 2 spy. Basically increases his chances of doing anything in the long run. And we can see our settlement, that this settlement doesn't have an awful lot really. It would be a nice settlement to take as a first target when we go to war with the Moors. They might have got a bit of a bigger garrison there by that point, but we'll see. Anyway, end the turn again. Here's our diplomat. Taking a very long time this turn, isn't it? Blimey. Have to start cutting them out. I say, I thought I'd crash for a second. Anyway. And here is the French castle. So, we'll get some trade, as we usually do, and some map information. I doubt they'll accept that, but we have a fair amount of... we don't have that big a... yeah, they don't have that big an empire than us. Let's offer 600 and see what we get.
A very reasonable proposal. Very well. We are done now.
In fact, I'm wondering if I should have proposed an alliance there with France as well.
An order?
It might have been a nice ally to have. Tell you what, we'll
yes,
march up here and
requesting an
talk
audience.
to them separately about maybe an alliance. Barcelona has now finished its construction. So we shall now build... what shall we build? I could build a brothel, I guess. Keep people a bit happier. And Valencia is now recruiting that, so we'll retrain some of the units. And as for this army, we can now lay siege
and yours, we march
Parma.
to battle. Without question, we shall begin the siege. Besieging forces reporting, my lord.
So yeah. And we're recruiting that. We can recruit some more troops here. And yes. You might be wondering, why aren't I recruiting merchants? I have no idea how they work. Well, I know how they work, but I never find them useful. I don't find them particularly cost effective, and
Your orders?
by the time, before they start turning a profit, they tend to get bought out by other factions. So yeah, I tend not to bother with them. Anyway, we have come to the end of this second part, so I will leave it at that. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.